Hello everyone, welcome back. It is the end of June pretty much. There's only a handful of days at this point left. So I'm going to go ahead and just clean everything up so we are ready for the first paycheck of July. Currently, I have 3 overspends, so not too bad. And I'm pretty sure they're all relatively easy to cover. So let's take a look here. Let's clean out some of these transactions. Let's see. Those are good. I did the second payment for the roof. I can approve all those. And I am going to go ahead and add a couple of transactions that are not in as of yet. So for today, this will go to Allstate. All right, so that is my sister's portion of the insurance. And then I think that was it for anything that I needed to add, actually. I do have a couple of others, but it would be for a different account. So let's see. Oh, I have one more here. And it was today as well. And it was, yeah, that one right there. Groceries, and it is 56.58. I'll cancel that. Okay. And then these should be cleared already, and these are newer. So we'll reconcile without the uncleared balance. Okay, sun check is good. High yield savings is good. Freedom. That's good. Let's reconcile. And Sapphire, I finally used that $9 and whatever I had there as a positive. And I did go over by 18 cents, so I paid the 18 cents balance. Okay, and then venture. All right, so this might be one that is pending for overspend, and it actually goes into wellness. Where I should actually have enough to cover it, so that should be one overspend cleared. And then let's see, those are good. Yep, all that looks correct. Approve. There's a 15. Oh yeah, this hold actually fell off, so I can take it off now. That was just for the hotel for incidentals, but we didn't get charged anything. All right, so that's actually correct. So we can reconcile. And this is where I'm going to add a couple of additional transactions that have just happened within the last few days. And since we're in the end of June, I just want to go ahead and get them in here so I could see. They might add to the overspend. They might not, who knows? I can't tell right now. They probably will though. Okay, second half. And I did have to go get gas. And while I was at the gas station, I did go ahead and get something to eat and something to drink. I've been running around all day today, and I just didn't have time for anything really at home. So, oh, it's not gas. This would be five-star Michelin. Okay. And I have one more to add for yesterday. And that would also be food delivery, $38.50. Okay, so those are pending still, so I'm going to leave them as is. And I think everything else is good. The car's the same. The roof. Look at that graph. Look how beautiful that graph looks. I have loved this whole journey just to get this down as quickly as possible. It has just looked marvelous. I only owe 517. That's all that's left. The only thing I would have to do next month when we look at the first paycheck is decide if I can send the full 517 with that first paycheck, or if I would have to split it up between the two paychecks of the month. For me, I would rather send it all just one lump sum, get it paid out so I don't have to see it anymore and I don't have to deal with it with my second paycheck. But it will depend on spending and expenses for the month to see how that works out. So hopefully that's what I can do. I can make it work where I can just pay it off with the first one and then it will be done. I can close it out. We don't have to ever see it again. But, you know, we'll deal with that when we work on the paycheck and assigning and stuff. Okay. So I do still show 3 overspends. Let's see. So, gas. Yeah, I did go over on that. Groceries and eating out was very heavy this month. Some of these weren't even for myself. They were for others and I just bought for them and I just didn't say no or didn't ask for money back. So, no. It's fine. It's actually fine because I do have some extra money on Allstate. Because of the 227 that my sister gives me. I already had this. There we go. I already had this set up for the full amount. I usually try to do that just in case she has something come up and she isn't able to give it to me for the month so I can cover it. That's no problem. But this month I had enough, so I do have some extra left. So I can take that and clear these overspends. And I still have a little bit left over. Okay. Let's see if there is anywhere. So I know that I said that I wasn't going to be traveling anywhere, but I might be traveling somewhere in August. It's sort of like a last minute thing. My brother has a concert that he's going to go to New York in August. And I piped up and I said, I've never been to New York. I want to go. And then they all started deciding on how to handle things at home. And I'm like, just like, what is happening? So apparently, I might be going to New York. We still need to iron out certain things, you know, in terms of like paying for stuff, the tickets for the airline, hotel, things like that, of course. This is a little bit more involved than my weekend trips to go visit my boyfriend. So, yeah, that might be happening. Sometime I think past mid-August at some point. So we do want to make sure that we get it all squared away early on so we don't have to worry about it as the date comes closer. I do know that once the tickets are bought, you know, for 2, if that's what it happens, then I can't back out because that would not be fair to him. He is essentially paying everything up front and I'll just be paying him back, or we'll split hotel and airline tickets. It just depends on how the math works and I'll let him do the math. He's the math whiz, not me. So, but yeah, so that might be something that's coming. So because of that, I'm going to put at least, I have 20 left here. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in money for this. So I'm going to put 80 just to start a little bit on a better note, $100. And then this 2177, I'm going to go ahead and add it in here. I mean, that's not bad. We're already at 800 here. I will say part of this is meant to be used to pay the remaining of the balance of the first procedure, which, as I've mentioned before, it ended up being a lot more than what they estimated that I would have to pay. So I do owe around 400. So technically, we're closer to 5 for the next procedure than 1,000 here. But it's okay. You know, it is what it is. And even just doing that one side of my gums and everything, it's really helped just overall. So it was still a really good thing. And I've seen the positive results. So we'll see how long I can wait for the next ones. I'm trying not to put these on a credit card, obviously. That's not how I like to use my credit cards. I like to use them where I have the money to pay them off, not as like a backup. And this isn't really emergent at the moment. It can become if I let it go on too long, but we took care of the worst section. So the other ones are more expensive, but it's just because there's more areas that need to be worked on. But that side was like, there was an active infection. So, you know, we took care of the worst of them in terms of that. All right. So I think that's pretty much cleaned up and ready for next month. I am so looking forward to making that final payment. That's going to be like fireworks and balloons and party hats, and just it's going to be fantastic. And then I can really start working on the car. With that being said, one of my goals this year was to put at least 3,500 into the 401k, not counting the match from work, just for myself, because the match is 4%. That's the match that work gives me. I'm still going back and forth if I'm going to hit that goal or if I want to actually bring down what I'm putting in just to the match, because I'm putting more, a little bit more on my end. I think I'm putting 6% in. So just 2% over the match. So I'm just trying to decide if I want to go down just to the 4%, you know, still have it moving, still meet the match, but then have a little bit extra coming in on my paychecks, or if I want to bring it up, because I would have to put in at least 2% additional to reach the 3,500 that I wanted to reach. I don't know. That's still something that I'm kind of thinking of, but a lot of it is based on just getting a little bit more money in so that I can tackle the car a little bit faster, as well as the dental procedures, try to see if I could get a little bit extra in there, and savings, because I am going to be putting a bit more in savings once the roof is done. So everything I've been putting to the roof is going to be split between savings and car and possibly the dental stuff. With regards to a second job, I'm going to put that on hold for just a second, like getting a part-time or anything, because there's an opening at work that would be a little bit of a higher pay than what I get right now. I don't know the exact details of how much it is. It just became available and it's within my same department. So it would just be like a promotion, but that is something that I'll definitely, you know, be talking to my manager, her manager, trying to figure out how much even that would be. And it comes with bonuses, which I don't know how much it is. And I really don't care how much the bonuses are. That's just an extra, whether I get it or not. It's not part of my decision if I do go for this position or not. But, you know, when you get them, then it's extra that you can kind of work with, but it won't be something that I use for my forecasting. So my Excel spreadsheet, or not Excel, but my Google Sheets that has my like forecast a year budget, I wouldn't necessarily put bonuses in there because I don't know exactly how much those are. I have no information on how exactly they work, what they are, or if there's something that is given by the company, if they hit certain goals, or if something has to be done from the department to hit those goals. So, you know, a lot of questions before I even take this on, and sort of, you know, I threw my name in for the position, but I also said I do need some information to make an educated decision as to whether this is something, because I do know that that position has a lot more responsibilities, of course, and it is much more client facing than the one I'm in right now. which I still technically talk to clients, but not to the degree that this other position does. Like this, in this other position is almost a daily occurrence, whether it's via email or by phone. Right now, I just do email, and that's every so often, like every once in a great while. But this would be weekly basis, daily basis, depending on the client, and I would get a lot more clients in my plate. So yeah, that's kind of happening. Um, it's the natural progression of where I should go within the promotion tier, my next step up. It's a little daunting. It's been a while since I've had a really true client facing position, but I'm up for the challenge if that's what it comes to. So, yeah, that's my little update for what's been happening throughout this week. And that is pretty much all that I have right now. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. And I hope everyone is having a wonderful day.